What is the biggest regret of your life? What is your greatest regret of your life? If there was a timed machine, what would you change? I'd work harder towards my goals earlier in my life. That's about it. Focus on one thing and see the end result. I have been erratic in my decision makings. Working in a field that I was not passionate about for 7 years with max salary of maybe $90,000 a year if you are a director or manager. I did it because that's what everyone in my college was doing. I absolutely hated working in a cube, getting paid shit and being yelled at by other rats. Greatest regret? Not developing a sense of discipline even earlier. What would I change? Not much. The young me wouldn't pay attention. Focus on one thing and see the end result. I have been erratic in my decision makings. Secondly, I made the mistake of thinking, I have all the time in the world, not knowing that they are stages of growth as time progresses. Let me explain. If you missed the time of going to school while living with your parents, it is going to cost you more as the years go by. 1 year ago today my oldest son died. He was only 29 years old. I regret not spending more time with him as he grew up. In the early years, I was always working a full-time job plus a part-time job. If that wasn't enough, at any given time, I was also trying to build a business of some kind. I fear that my lack of quality time and involvement with him on a daily basis is what led him to the lifestyle that ultimately shortened his life. Selling my bitcoins. And not finishing my tasks on time. Sorry to read about the demise of your son. I know by now, you might have found solace in the higher power above. When I realized what it means to be a wonderful dad to my children and a great husband to my wife, I stopped everything at my disposal to be with them. I picked up a 40 hours a week job to enable me to be available in the morning while my wife is at work. I am a detailed-oriented person. This helps in making sure the children are dropped at school when the school bus is late, etc., and it has worked very well with us. Nevertheless, it restricts me from being a frivolous spender since I do not make that much. Hence, I was able to locate MJ looking for ideas or something that will supplement my present income. We are not alone in search of the golden fleece. Best of luck. Has this changed the way you approach your businesses or relationships moving forward? That's really terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. For some reason, I've been hearing a lot about business owners not spending enough time with family recently. I am so sorry. The best thing I could have done would have been to have insisted on taking care of some health situations when I was younger, even when there were some overwhelming, like the worst things you can go through, personal circumstances happening at the same time. 20-odd years later, my health is crap, and I am limited in what I can physically do due to those things not healing properly. So now I'm slowly seeing one specialist at a time, but some things can't reversed. That, and I wish I had known myself better earlier on. I think I am mainly living as an example to young people. Take care of your health. Take care of your health. Even if your brother or cousin or best friend or significant other is dying and you think you will sound jerky or selfish by wanting to get something non-life-threatening taken care of. I'm so sorry. I had worked 17 years from 8 to 5 for a GE company, instead to build my own business since 10 years ago. I'm so sorry for your story equals. Sorry, I wish I would have been there for my family too. Never knew anything would change. Sent from my iPhone using TaperTalk. This is my biggest struggle. People close to me have recently told me that discipline is my biggest weakness. Since then, I've noticed it like crazy. I've been making my bed in the morning, doing daily chores around my house, working out ... not for the sake of doing them because I can slack ... but because I'm trying to develop that discipline muscle. I struggled doing all of that consistently. I used to have regrets until I realized that everything in my past has brought me to where I am now, and that's an excellent place. Maybe I'd feel differently if that wasn't the case, but change just a small piece of my history and would I be in the same place? Would it be better or worse? I don't know. I'm also an eternal optimist, so I color even the worst parts of my past with a positive outlook. I definitely look back on a few moments and cringe, but I'm not sure I truly regret any of it. Even the most painful stuff. My deepest sympathies go out to you, man. I can't imagine what you're going through. Carlone at 18 Lolland College. My greatest regret: keep on working minimum wage jobs thinking that it'll get me somewhere. Not knowing what my purpose in life is until recently at age 47. I wish I found this forum earlier, and I sure as hell wish I could meet everyone here in person. My tribe at heart for sure. Biggest regret is just wasting time doing things that either didn't matter, were for someone else, a boss, or weren't helping to better myself or situation at whatever time in my life it was. Regret not using my time more effectively learning new things. Instead of being a plain old lazy ass playing video games and wasting time on the internet, I should have learned more. Even if it got me nowhere, it gives you a foundation to learn more complex things as time goes on, letting you spot opportunities. You see, even if you feel like you're wasting your time cause you wanna jump right in and start $1 million business in 1 week, you need to build your mental foundation that lets you predict outcomes and spot trends and opportunities. I don't have any regrets. I feel that every wrong choice I've made in life has taught me a valuable lesson that can't be learned through education. As the father of a 2-year-old, I can't even begin to imagine the pain you have endured. Your perseverance is inspirational. It's beyond difficult to fathom pushing forward after the crushing loss of losing your child. You are a strong man. My dearest condolences go out to you. God bless. I wished my FCK this event happened to me 10 years earlier to give me the final push to start on the fast lane. You and I are extremely fortunate to have found the and even know what A is. It's insane how many people around me hate their lives and don't do anything about it. I think about how MJ's books and his forum have already changed my life daily. Oh, I'm so sorry and saddened to hear this. I came into this thread to say the same thing about my brother who passed away 1.5 years ago. My biggest regret is not spending more time with him, and wondering what if. The top priorities in my life are health and family. Building a business whilst damaging my health or not being there for my family is not an option. What I learned by reading your experiences is that the most important things in life are the time spent with your family and people who love you. So I think the only salvation is to start in business. Our time bank consumes time from day to day, and in the end what really counts will be our spirit and whisper. May God bless you and your family. Behaving as a child: if I went back, I'd skip school and do all kinds of irresponsible stuff. My biggest regret is not focusing on my finances and creating a fast lane type goal when I was younger. If I had done this in 2003, then I would have made some progress and have found them much faster. If I would have known how much pain, misery, and agony were to come later on down the road, I would have focused on finances first ahead of everything. I would have probably been able to help my dad fight off his cancer and not have lost him last year instead. Managing finances is a vital skill in life. I'm really sorry to hear. Listening to all the dumbass sidewalkers and slow laners around me. Sorry, family or friends. Most of you are doing pretty shitty, and you almost took me with you. Choosing to get a master's degree almost 10 years ago instead of going down the entrepreneurial path led me into the corporate world for 8 long years that could have been spent building a business. The scripted reality has killed your dreams. My biggest regrets were letting emotions control my behaviors and actions. I also did not think about how my time is limited. I lived on autopilot and I have aged without getting much done. My friend hooked me up with his best friend's sister. What he failed to mention. So I started to walk into the water. I won't lie to you boys, I was terrified. But I pressed on, and as I made my way past the breakers a strange calm came over me. I don't know if it was divine intervention or the kinship of all living things, but I tell you at that moment I was a marine biologist. The sea was angry that day, my friends, like an old man trying to return soup at a deli. I got about 50 feet out and then suddenly the great beast appeared before me. I tell you, he was 10 stories high if he was a foot. As if sensing my presence, he gave out a big bellow. I said, "Easy, big fella." And then as I watched him struggling, I realized something was obstructing his breathing. From where I was standing I could see directly into the eye of the great fish. Then from out of nowhere a huge tidal wave lifted, tossed like a cork, and I found myself on top of him face to face with the blowhole. I could barely see from all of the waves crashing down on top of me, but I knew something was there, so I reached my hand and pulled out the obstruction. A golf ball.